Hello, I hope you guys can hear me. I was trying to do my AirPods or earpods as I call them, and it didn't work. So um, I was kind of scattering around this morning. It's been a little crazy. So I was going to say, welcome to Canada with Katie, but welcome to check this out. So Jason is not available to hang out with us today because, he's busy doing all the things. He's my lender. He's pretty amazing. And he can do anything. So I'm just verifying here that it is live. I hope you can hear me. La la la. Video has no sound. Interesting. I don't think you guys can hear me. Okay, it looks like I haven't sound. Sorry, I'm always having technical difficulties of some sort. If you guys watched Canada with Katie last night, I had just a terrible DIY situation with tennis balls. So what are you gonna do? Oh, and I'm wearing my new glasses. Red. I love them. I got them and I thought Valentine's Day. Pretty swell, pretty swanky. Okay, and also this streams live to YouTube and Facebook, and then last night's video from Canada with Katie didn't start until it just cut in the beginning. It's kind of strange. So anyway, so welcome to check this out. Usually we have okay, there we go. I'm sorry, I had to check again. So usually we have, we can have mortgage stuff on here, lending stuff or real estate stuff. But I thought today we'll start with some light stuff, and then I'm going to talk about how not to take things personally because I had to fire a client. Is that really a thing? Yeah, I mean, it's not really called firing, but this person was not treating me well. And I don't ever call out people's names, they don't even live in this state. But I will explain the situation and how it's hard on me. But it's something that's necessary for growth, So let's start with some house fails. Kind of funny. I don't know how this happens. Okay, so this is how cool I am, right? Okay, so here we go. This is, can you guys see the problem here? What is it? So it's all the tiles, and then right here, they stuck this one in sideways. So if it was my house, I'd kind of dig it. I wouldn't mind it at all. It's just goofy, right? All right, so the next one, I think they're all going to be bathroom ones or tile ones, and then I wish I had a better process for doing this. Oh, this is all kitchen ones first. Okay, check this one out. Oh, that seems like a good idea. What the heck is going on there? So, who designs these? Was the outlet there first? Or was the faucet there? And why is there no sink? I don't understand what's going on with these. These are hilarious to me. Because what are people thinking? Like, what are you thinking when you're setting this up? Now, this is one that it could be a common mistake, and people are like, hey, I'm going to put this cool corner in the kitchen. And then, boop, oopsie. How would you solve this problem? How would you solve this problem? I suppose to me, it looks like you could just take the dealy bops off. I'm a realtor, not even the handles or whatever. And then maybe that would fix it, Okay, our next one is, I don't remember why I put this one in here. Oh, look at this. You're not going to be able to open that refrigerator. What's going on? That's a small stove, so this could be somewhere, maybe in Europe or something. I actually took these from a site. I'll have to, it's like 65 house fails or something. All right, the next one. Oh, this is so gross. There's a whole lot of things going on in this one. Whole lot of things. Gross. If anybody wants to join, you could join and talk to me. I'll send you the link. That'd be kind of fun. So there's a kitchen table. There's a fake mantle. Maybe it was a fireplace at one point, and a toilet right here. And then behind that, is that a heater? Is that one of those heaters that you see? somewhere not in Arizona where it's actually have the house opened up right now. And then I have friends freezing and having troubles in Texas and all over the world. Okay, so this is for those who don't really give a crap, pun intended, about their privacy while using the restroom or taking a bath. Is that a tin bathtub? Not quite sure. Are they going old school there? Who knows? Okay, what do you guys think of these so far? These tickle me sometimes. Okay, this is always weird to me. Do people really go to the bathroom at the same time? Are you really that close of a couple and or friend, whatever, that you're going to do that? That is so gross to me. I mean, I know we do it in public restrooms and stuff, but I mean, like, you're going to be sitting there and then you're like, hey, how's it going? Everything come out okay? I mean, it's just weird. It's just weird. I'm sorry. I think it's just weird. Okay, so next, my glasses are crooked. We've got, I wish there was a better way to share these because it takes me so long. Okay, this is bizarre. Who designed this? Now, I was going to go through these and edit them and stuff and make them brighter, but I mean, this is how the pictures came out. So this is what it is. So this is like a front-loading washing machine. I guess it's on some kind of stable thing above the toilet. Doesn't seem like the brightest idea to me. Are you getting excited thinking about how not to take things personally yet? Okay, next. Now, who designed? So what came first, the toilet or the counter? You know what I'm saying? Can't you even, I mean, if you have to put the toilet there, can't you put it at an angle, or do they always have to go straight forward? I mean, still, you'd be sitting there with your, I mean, you'd be right next to that counter. But that's a fail. These are all fails are hilarious. Like, if it happened in my house, I would just laugh and I would probably leave it and it would be a story forever. These are a couple of faucet ones. Oops, went out a little bit too far. And the next one is the opposite. And I've shared a photo that was like this on Instagram once. There's an easy solution to fix this one. You could put one of those little bowls in there. There's like an extender thing. Or just buy the right freaking faucet, you know? Okay, let's see. I don't know how many more I have. Hang on a second here. All right, let's see. Oh, just a few more. Okay. They figured out pretty quickly that the fan's not going to work in the corner. At least not where they put it. Boom. Okay, let's see. Share the screen. So next up is, all right, this is a garage fail. What is this? An alien spaceship? I grew up in Roswell. Are they going to just pull right in there? Why have a garage there? Maybe it's a cool space where it opens up and there's a living room there or something, and then you can just enjoy the view. I don't know. I have no idea. But it's funny. Here's another garage one, I believe. Oh, not quite. But like, what happened here? So if you own that house and this is all your land, wouldn't you make your driveway come up this way possibly? How are you going to get out of there? Is it for bicycles only? Oh my gosh. I mean, like, some of these are just hard to believe, aren't they? Okay. A couple more. Okay. A couple more. These. Look at this. Can you tell what the guy's doing? Roswell, hey, right? Trippity-doo. Okay. So this guy's walking up the stairs. So suddenly you have to turn into like a 1.5 foot person in order to finish climbing up the stairs. Okay. And then I've got one more, and then I'm going to share with you how not to take things personally, which is actually a pretty amazing article. Okay. Please explain this one to me. Spiral staircase. Cool. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Somehow I knew that was going to happen. And then all the doors are on the other side. That's just, I mean, but the thing is they left it. That's what's kind of hilarious to me, is that they left it. Okay, so now I'm going to get into how not to take things personally. And maybe you need to know this and maybe you don't. But It's really hard. So as you know, I've explained before, I am an empath. I do care. I care too much about other people over myself sometimes. And that can be a problem. And it's a problem much of the time. And I think, as far as some things go, like I'm in some groups and stuff, and there are people who don't think about things before they post them, and it hurts other people. And it's really unnecessary. But I had a situation, and I'm going to tell it to you, and I'm not going to call out names. And this person's not on social media anyway. But I've been dealing with this person for years. She bought a house from another state, and then she sold it in a year and went back to her hometown. So let's just say it's Seattle. It's not, but I'll just say that. And then she was abusive to me the whole time. Deep down, a good person, I know, and can get along with her, but verbally abusive, attacked me all the time, basically trying to tell me how to do well, if you're going to go here, I don't see how it is that you can't just swing by and look at this house for me. And I'm in my head thinking, you don't get to dictate what my schedule is and what I have time for. And I will admit that I did start avoiding her because I was thinking, she's moving back out here and she doesn't understand the market. She's somebody that's looking on things and thinking she can buy an auction home. There's so much to it. You can't. You have to have that money within 24 hours. The earnest money's hard. You don't know what you're walking into. You're not allowed to go ahead of time. So it's just a crazy situation. And, looking at other sites like, it rhymes with Willow, and saying, well, I'm looking here and I see there's 9 available homes in that neighborhood. And I'm stating, well, on the MLS, there's 2. This is the only reliable information you have because Willow will put inaccurate information on there. So they'll leave a house active until it close of escrow. So technically it's still active because it hasn't closed yet, but it's not. It's under contract or pending. So this is like the battles that we fight all the time. And so since I've known this woman for years, it was at the beginning of my real estate career, and I was with another company, and it was a 50-50 split, and I was driving literally an hour and a half each way 3 times a week sometimes. Got her into a house at that time for $185,000 with the pool, 3-bedroom. So obviously, it's off the beaten path. It's not in the middle of Phoenix. That house today probably would be $350,000. She could have made a boatload of money on it. But she kept badgering me and saying things like, just to be clear, I wanted you to do this. She didn't give me clear instructions, and then she would berate me and then basically just kind of give me a hard time. So I had so much anxiety, every text, every call, every email, that it physically was, really hard. And so I finally, you'd be really proud of me because I didn't come back with anything. I didn't rebut. She was just like, oh, blah, blah, blah. As many times as you say you go here, you can swing by, like I said, and then had said, I'm just really disappointed that you're turning your back on me. And I said, that's not what I'm saying. Because I had said, let me find an agent in this certain city that I can get a 25% referral fee. That way we can work together and you won't miss out on something. Because as it is right now, you're not going to get into a house unless you pay over asking and, no concessions. I mean, it's just going to be, it's crazy. She didn't believe it. And she's like, well, I think this house is overpriced. And the problem is, you're not going up against sellers, you're going up against other buyers. And so someone's going to pay that price. It doesn't matter if it's overpriced or not in this market. And so I hope this story isn't getting too long. Please tell me if it is. I'm almost done, I think. And so, I had said that, and she said, no, thanks. Realtors are a dime a dozen. And so, thinking about it later and speaking with a friend, I should have been like, okay, then take a dime, stick it in your pocket and go find one. Because if they're a dime a dozen, then quit berating me, And she's like I said, I have a friend that's supposed to buy and another friend that's supposed to buy. So you're leaving 3 possible sales in the dust. You must be making the big bucks, baby. I mean, like, what kind of a person says that to someone? And so I just said, good luck to you. I mean, the thing is, in her head, and I don't know what she's thinking, but just by you saying there are other people, I'm not in contact with them. This is hard to deal with. And then I'm busting my ass for you. And I'm still driving to the same place that you wanted me to drive to before, sometimes an hour and a half. So 3 hours just driving out of my way. And then she's not taking it seriously. So, I said, she had said about the realtors being a dime a dozen. I said, that's not, she goes, you're turning your back on me. I said, that's not what I'm saying. And she goes, it most certainly is. So you can't argue with a person like that. And I just said, good luck to you. And she's like, oh, I love you dearly or whatever, but I just feel like I'm always chasing you. And I said, I'm not going to rebut. I said, I just don't ever make you happy. And then I did something crazy that I don't ever do. I blocked her on my phone, calling, texting, emails, and on my site. So I don't want to ever hear from this person again. Mark Press says, oh, I forgot to put this up. Trip. This is what I do here. What? Roswell, hey. Roswell hitting the hizzy. And then Mark Press says, LOL. I like the dime analogy. Yeah, it's a nice analogy unless she's saying it to me. Agents are a dime a dozen. Or are you saying you like what I said? Take a dime and stick it in your pocket and go find another one. I mean, if she was in my face, it'd be nice to flip it at her. But if she really thought that she could have gone to another agent, she'll find out soon that someone else is not going to take this abuse from her. I had other people saying, well, just refer her out. And I'm like, I don't want to do that to someone else. So why was it my responsibility to, suffer that abuse? And so now, when you do this, someone asked me, are you worried about how she feels about you or whatever? Thanks, Mark. What I said, boom. It's, to me, it's a big deal to block someone from all that stuff. It is. And it's just a big deal. And it's just not something I do. And so this I got from a site called Medium, and I love it. And this is 7 Golden Rules for Not Taking Things Personally. And the lady that wrote it is Karen Nemo. She's a clinical psychologist, writer, and editor of Off the Couch in Practical Psychology for Everyday Life. So kind of cool. So this article is, do you take things personally? So she says, yes, of course you do. We all do. But the difficulty comes when we take things too personally, when we let the opinions of others pierce our emotional skins superficially or right to the core of who we are. And so that's what was happening with me. You start to doubt yourself and you think, is this some kind of karma thing? Is this something I'm supposed to deal with? Am I supposed to be learning? Like now I'm thinking, okay, so I ended it pretty extremely. I'm thinking, okay, so now I'm going to get like 4 new clients out of this. Is this something I was supposed to do? It's supposed to make me grow? Why am I afraid sometimes to speak my mind when it's something that I'm not happy with, when everybody else doesn't seem to have a problem with it? Not everybody, but you know what I mean? So it's really interesting. So she says, the point is, we can't stop the onslaught of others' opinions about us. It's futile to try, okay? But we can master the way we deal with them. Oh, that's a pretty big deal, right? So she says, here are the 7 golden rules for not taking things too personally. And here's a quote from Miguel Ruiz, who is the author of the 4 Agreements, okay? If you're impeccable with your word, if you don't take anything personally, if you don't make assumptions, if you always do your best, then you are going to have a beautiful life. Well, I mean, it's hard to do, right? So the statement here, taking things personally just means you're a person with a healthy emotional radar. And I'm like, whoo, I must have a super healthy emotional radar then. I mean, I can't change who I am. Interestingly enough, they mentioned what people like me always think about. You feel stuff, which is a good thing. So you don't need to develop a thick skin. This is what everybody says, right? You just need to get a thicker skin. And sometimes we do get jaded, and sometimes that does happen. But it says, but you do have to understand that taking everything personally will put you at the mercy of life's slings and arrows. It will make you play small. Is that what you really want? That's huge. That's huge. So before you take things too deeply or to heart, look at this checklist, okay? I should have written them down, but I didn't have time because, busy. So number 1, do you know who they are? Who are these people that are treating you this way? Who has judged you and hurt you? Do you even know who they are? Even the harshest critics, anonymous on social media. Just dismiss the criticism of anyone who hides behind a mask, right? That makes sense. And then it says, anonymous mean comments are cowardly. Why would you let a coward hide behind a keyboard hurt you? Keyboard warriors, right? Why would you allow anyone who doesn't know you to hurt you? So this includes, you might know them, you might be working with them, it might be a colleague, but you don't really know them and they don't really know you. And that's the thing, right? Do you know who I am on the inside? So in a group I'm in, yesterday there was something said that hurt people's feelings, and then the person stated, you don't even know me, but it's like another person had come in and said, yeah, but this is not cool regardless, and that person apologized, which is great. We're living in a world that's too negative to begin with. So we got to do whatever we can to make it more positive. And I sure want to live in a world with all of you full of love and not hate. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be perfect. Communication is key. We need to be able to figure out how to do that. And so these are some really good tips. So the second one is, do they really matter to you? So many people are affected by the words, actions, opinions of people who really don't matter. Okay, so the toxic ex you never have to see again, some slick politician you'll never have to meet. Yes, they hurt or annoyed you, but when you step back and see the big picture, they're truly not important to you. So keep them in their place and don't make them bigger than they are. Okay. Mark says, I just had to learn to move on. Oh, I would love it if you would share why, but it's hard, isn't it? It's hard. So thank you for sharing that, Mark. So if they don't matter to you, don't be too quick to react. Listen and try to understand their perspective. And this includes not reacting like on a social media post or something, and not immediately having to say something unless it's supportive. Like, you don't have to be a supportive sap all the time. I know I'm a positive, weird person, but I have my times. I struggle, and I have learned to take a step back, a deep breath, and to think about things. But things hurt me a lot, and it is something that we have to deal with. It's something I think about constantly, okay? And this is why I'm sharing it today, okay? Maybe this will help you. Who knows, okay? Number 3, are they going low? So this is Michelle Obama quote, when they go low, we go high. So Michelle Obama popularized this slogan, offering restraint as an antidote to criticism. So she says it's not about banishing hurt feelings, but about not allowing yourself to stoop to an angry or low level response to maintain your dignity in the face of challenge. Holy crap. So Mark says, very hard, but better for my mental health. Yeah. So my situation that I just explained, and if you're just joining, check this out right now, rewind it later and check out my story, because that was hard on me. That was hard on me to go extreme with someone I'd been in contact for years and had built a sort of friendship with. But the thing is, are they really a friend if they're treating you that way? I don't think so. Okay. So that's interesting. So it says, ignore anyone who judges you, blah, 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 because it's none of their business. Smile and think this. If they're making it personal, then they can't have anything substantial to say. Whoa. Dropping bombs here. Thank you, Lucy. Okay. So number 4, know that this is about them. And this is a big, big, big one. Okay. It's true. There is great power in realizing the way a person speaks about or acts about others is utterly revealing of who they are. Acts toward about others. That's a weird sentence. In their comments, posts, tweets, behavior, acts of meanness, they're telling you about their history, their belief systems, their character, their emotional game. They often narrow the way they view the world. They're standing before you naked. Not literally, of course. That would be weird. Any poisonous judgments they make are a product of who they are, not you. It's helpful to understand that. It's helpful to know that it's not who you want to be. It's probably even more helpful to stay away from them. And I've talked about this for a long time too. And everybody is always up in arms about social media, Hey, Charles Davidson, hello. So, and this is things that we deal with our whole lives. And I know this is cool. I did a motivational speech for some high school volleyball students last Friday. Took my niece with me, and I drama is going to follow you your whole life. So the thing you have to learn, and it's so true. It's hard to do. So this lady that I just dropped and blocked, I know it's about her. And the thing is, we can't put our own thoughts and feelings on someone else hoping that they're going to come around. It's not going to teach them a lesson. Like, I would think, well, hopefully now, do you know why it's hard on me? Because I'm sad that this person is going to feel horrible and not be able to get a hold of me. And at the same time, I don't want her to. But I feel bad about that. I do. And so we just can't allow. I know, like, here in my head, I was thinking, okay, maybe she'll go back through the text, maybe the emails and whatever, and see how she's been treating me. But she won't. She won't, because we don't think the same way. And if we did, she wouldn't treat me that way. Do you know what I'm saying? So the biggest thing that I've learned is know your worth. Know your worth. I came across, now I'm going to add something in here that's pretty amazing. I came across something in a podcast that, now I got to find it. And there's two statements that are really incredible. And it comes from the science of relationships. This guy, Dr. Zach Bush, okay? He says, you wouldn't tolerate anything that doesn't mirror the belief that you are worthy. I'll think about that. That's a big deal. And a belief, okay, your belief will always be as powerful as your weakest choice. Whoa, okay. So if you're allowing people to do this, it is a choice. That's what he's saying. We got to take care of ourselves. We got to do the things to be able to move on. Boy, I'm getting serious on a Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Wednesday morning this morning, aren't I? So get active and get responsible for what you believe, okay? So these are some ways to do it. Okay. So number 5, don't make assumptions. Like I just said, I can't assume that she's going to learn how to, amen. Thank you. It's hard. Okay. So hopefully there are people out here that need to hear this morning. Don't make assumptions. The number 1 rule of psychology is not to make assumptions. When you're upset or angry, it's easy to assume that you know what the other person meant. And I talk about this in real estate all the time too. When I'm working, I have a couple people on my team. They're part-time, but we talk about things and we say things, and I'm like, but don't assume that this realtor is doing that. Like you're feeling slighted or whatever, but they're just maybe they don't know how to express themselves. Maybe they don't know exactly how to say it or whatever. So don't make assumptions. Like I'm saying, communication is key. Okay, so it says when you're upset or angry, it's easy to assume you know what someone else meant. Okay, so stay neutral. Allow another person's opinions to be theirs and theirs alone. You don't have to do anything with them. Okay? You don't. So Mark says, agree, it's your choice. And that's hard for people to understand. Like I've said before, I worked at this alternative high school and kids were yelling and cussing and stuff all the time and they were never getting in trouble. And it was really hard. And people were like, it's not about you. It's not about you. And I spent 3 years crying, loving the kids still, but crying. But once I figured it out, it was a fucking game changer. Q from Mash the Gas. Boom. Good morning. I'm dropping bombs right now, Q. Okay, so 6, figure out how they can help you. Whoa. Is that even possible? Often the reason we're hurt by criticism is because it hits a nerve. Duh. We believe it contains a kernel of truth. So that's what I'm talking about. Know your worth. When you know your worth, you'll treat others with that same respect you give yourself. Does that make sense? It's a huge thing. Okay. Feedback is not always negative, and if it is, it can contain things that help us, particularly around our work. If you've had some feedback that's hard to take, sit with it a while, and when you're ready, unpack it and see what you can learn. There are always better or alternative ways to do things, so stay open to them. So don't always assume because somebody, maybe it's not a criticism, maybe it's just something to help you out. So part of being out there in the world is figuring out how to navigate and to communicate, right? Again, know your worth. And then here it is, the last one, number 7, don't let them limit your life. The great danger in taking things too personally is that you get defensive and then it starts to dictate your life. And that happens all the time, okay? Your critics can keep you in a box, closing your heart and mind to new experiences and possibilities. Don't let them trap you and don't turn into a victim. You own your life. If you're going to do anything worthwhile at all, the critics will come for you. They will. But they will only win if you hand them the power to do so. Holy cow. I seriously just got chills on that. So particularly in this time, it's 2021. Did we get rid of all the troubles from 2020? No, we did not. We're all on this ship together, okay? So let's do what we can to get it across that sea. Because life's too short. Life's too short to be a douche. I mean, that should be a shirt, right? Life's too short to be a douche. When you know your worth, you treat yourself with that self-respect and you treat others with that same, okay? So I hope this has been helpful. And then, of course, we are going to end with Weird in the News because that's fun, okay? So I have a couple on here. Okay. I put them on here so I can read them because you can't see the whole thing. Okay, so I always have something, and maybe it's because I always have my lender on here who's not with us today. It's very sad. Oblivious winner carried $1 million lottery ticket around for a month. Who? Oh, if Q's still on here, he's going to be like, of course, Katie messed up. Okay, here it is. Okay. Oblivious winner carried $1 million lottery ticket around for a month. Who are these people? So Mark says, very helpful on a frozen Texas week. Exactly. Thank you. Usually we do this podcast on Monday mornings, but we had to move it back because Jason is a very busy, mortgage guy, and he's fixing all kinds of situations right now. Okay, so this story comes from Australia. She won a lottery jackpot worth more than $1 million, and she said she carried her winning ticket around for over a month, but before she knew it was a big winner. Ugh. She went to buy a ticket for the weekend's draw and then checked this ticket in the process. The woman said, I had absolutely no idea. So she's, have you ever gone into like the supermarket or the convenience store and been like, hey, can you check this ticket? So then it says, I had no idea. It's crazy. Lottery official said the ticket, which earned a total jackpot of $1,086,400, was unregistered. So they had no way to contact the winner until she came forward. I don't know what registered means on lottery tickets, but she says the first thing she's going to do is pay off her mortgage. So boom, deals with our industry. Okay, I wonder if this will switch. Will this switch? Do you see this? Nope, it doesn't. So I got to stop sharing the screen. So you get to see my face up close again for a second. Lucky you. And then this is pretty gross. Those of you that are flying, yucky. Okay, so Brian says, LOL, I do that. Buy a ticket, put in my wallet, and forget. Yeah, well, if you guys saw the podcast last night, do you see how many receipts I had in there? I think there were a few lottery tickets in there. I think I should check those. Okay, so a pilot shares. Okay, here it is. Hang on, where's the pilot shares stomach-turning secret about ordering hot drinks on flights. Ew. So he reveals why you shouldn't order hot drinks. Disgusting. Well, and then in case you want to know how to empty your bowels each morning, there's that routine. So I'm going to read it from my phone just because it's easier, because you can't read that anyway. Okay. So how many of you order hot beverages on a plane? I don't. It's not because I had any knowledge of this, but he says that galleys are probably the most unhygienic places on earth. There aren't many places where I'd be wiping down a toilet seat and then immediately go plate up some food. So, and the user who posted under the name Moaning Pilot also had a disturbing story about coffee. Ugh. So he said, I once caught a fellow crew member pouring old coffee down the toilet. We can't pour it down the sink as coffee often blocks him. And then we put the flush button with the spout of the coffee pot instead of their finger or their foot. She then immediately brewed a pot of coffee and poured drinks for customers from that same thing she used to flush the toilet. Since it was shared on Reddit, fellow users were left mortified at the pilot's confession. So someone said, I'm never drinking airplane coffee again. And the pilot isn't the first cabin crew member to make a statement about coffee during a trip. That's disgusting. So this other person says, rule number 1, never consume any liquid that is not in a can or a bottle. And the reason being is those water tanks are never cleaned and they are disgusting. So talk to a flight attendant. They rarely drink the tea or coffee, and they come from the same water tank. That's disgusting. Okay, that's weird in the news. And the last one has to do with houses and a story that has always intrigued me since I was a child because I'm weird. Lizzie Borden. Do you guys know who Lizzie Borden is? Well, let me tell you, if you are so inclined and you win the lottery and you have this much money, you too can own Lizzie Borden's home for $2 million. That's her right there. Okay, so if you don't know this story, I could make a sort of a fun little scary murder mystery type thing about her because it's fascinating. So there's some quotes about her. Lizzie Borden had an ex, gave her father 40 whacks. When she was through, she gave her mother 42, something like that. So, hey, the story's not coming through. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see if it will. Hang on a sec. So, well, okay, I'll have to read it on here. So I'll have to go back here. So here we go. So the Homeboy 19th century accused killer Lizzie Borden allegedly murdered her father and stepmother with a hatchet in 1892 is for sale as a bed and breakfast. Okay. It was the site of a horrible murder. I think that's an ad. Sorry about that. So an unusual feature of the house dating to when Andrew Borden remodeled it for his family in 1872 is that there are no hallways except for the landing on the second floor. So one had to go through one room to get to another, the Lizzie Borden Museum website says. And so that was one of the details that led many at the time to suspect that Lizzie was the murderer. Andrew was killed about an hour and a half after Abby. Oh, sorry, I got that wrong. And a stranger in the house would have had few options for staying hidden. So if you have $2 million, you could buy this home and live in it. Would you do that? Would you live in a home? Would you think it was haunted? Be kind of creepy, right? So that's all I got for today, you guys. It went a little long, but it was really fun. And hopefully we had some good knowledge and you learned something and you're going to know your self-worth and you're going to face other people who are negative with the knowledge that it's not about you, it's about them, right? So peace and love. And then on this show, I always say with Jason, I love your socks. So I love your socks. And we'll see you on Monday, okay? Peace and love, everyone.